Did you buy Cities Skylines 2 only for it to do this? Or just generally get poor visuals and crappy performance? A lot of people are struggling to get the game to play right now. Most folks aren't running high-end gaming PCs that a lot of big content creators have. But luckily, I'm running something more modest. I'll post my specs in the description too. So let me show you what settings to use to get this game running now with an acceptable balance of visuals and performance. First, upon loading, make sure to wait for this visual texturing to load up to 100%. This is crucial to make the game look its best. The game defaults everyone to some really horrible, extremely high settings, and most of these options are pointless performance hogs that actually make the game worse. Everything's defaulted to high, so most people can't just play it out of the box, and I'm super disappointed in this. An easy fix would be to just push a patch to start everyone out at medium settings. Would have saved Colossal Order and Paradox hundreds of negative reviews. First, I do like to play at either 990 or 1080p. I know it's not 4K, but if you're looking to get the game running and play around with it, it's not that big of a difference, I promise. I prefer to play in windowed mode because I'm ridiculous, but I didn't notice a huge difference in performance from full screen or windowed. And for this particular video, I've got it in full screen. Turn off depth of field. Even if you have a NASA PC, this setting sucks, makes everything look bad and kills performance. Keep dynamic resolution off. It has a minimal impact on performance and just makes visuals look terrible. For anti-aliasing, I used FXAA, but if you still see issues, disable it. I noticed little difference in performance from clouds on or off, and I like them. Keep them at low if you're unsure, and disable them if you do still have issues. Turn off fog. Just turn it off. It washes out visuals and wastes resources. I like volumetric clouds on. They look nice. I did notice about a 1 to 2 FPS drop with them on, but turn them off if you're unsure. I put most other settings on medium, but again, turn off depth of field here. And the biggest performance killer, which is absolutely unnecessary and should not even be in a city building game, is motion blur. Turn it off, no matter what. It's awful, you don't need it. I keep shadow quality at low. I barely notice a difference in the visuals. I set everything else to medium, but I leave texture quality at high. The difference in visuals was noticeable to me, but the difference in performance was not. But use your own discretion for this one. When I turned off VSync, my game crashed, so I left it on. For advanced settings, I switched the anti-aliasing method to TAA and upped quality to medium. Because I personally like volumetric clouds, I enabled them. But again, you can decide. I don't notice a huge difference with them on or off, but I leave everything else here on medium. I made this city where I placed every single ploppable building in the game and then spanned endless lanes of roads and zoned on them to test out the game. It has about 12,000 citizens, so keep that in mind when I show you my FPS. It should be noted that the devs aim for a benchmark of 30 FPS on all machines, and I was able to get close to that. One thing is that city builders do not necessarily need a high frame rate like a first-person shooter. But I do have concerns that once mods and assets come into play, this game's performance is going to be even more of an issue. In areas of the map where most of the city is in view, I got 20 FPS. But I was using 100% of my CPU. I don't know what's up with that. I'm not technical enough to understand the implications of that. But in areas with less going on, I got up to 36 frames per second. Oddly enough, when I loaded up the same blank map with nothing on it, my FPS was around 34. At the very least, the game is playable with these settings. And in the test city, I noticed zero lag anywhere on the map. And when I built it yesterday, my performance was even better. I hope these settings can at least help you get started, and you won't totally melt your PC in the process. I will say that I'm extremely disappointed in the launch itself and the poor performance of this game, and I do feel like a lot of these concerns have been swept under the rug, or people with good setups just aren't aware of the limitations of older or less beefy hardware. Another thing that I can recommend, and this is not sponsored, I don't have affiliate links, but if you're on a laptop, get a cooling pad. It helps a little. Doesn't help a lot, but it works. I'm not the most technical person, so I may be missing some things here. But at the very least, my game runs a little better than my extremely modded Cities 1 builds. It's not the sequel that we wanted, but it's the sequel we got. And the game is good once you get it dialed in. So don't give up.